Normally when I work, at least on my own stuff, like I kind of produce while I write. And, you know, because I come from like a, you know, I guess the hip hop background in me is like make the beat. And as you make the beat, write the song to the beat. And sometimes you can like, I call it like produce yourself into a corner. It's kind of like you're editing the film while you're shooting the footage, as opposed to getting all the footage and then figuring out how to piece it together. I wanted to just get back to the root of the song and get back to the lyric of the song. And so what I did is Broken Hearts and Dollar Signs. I wrote a series of letters to different people that had, you know, profound impact on my life at different times, or people that I had unresolved issues with. I just basically sat at the piano and turned those letters into lyrics and melody. And then I built production. The thing about music is that it's a lonely sport. I was traveling a whole lot in like August, September, a lot in September. And all that traveling, I was doing the majority of it by myself. In the moments when you get back to your hotel room and it's like 2 a.m. or you're heading to the airport and it's like 5 a.m. and you're doing all these things alone, it's kind of when you really feel like, man, I'm just really out here by myself. And those were the moments that I started to reminisce and think about, man, she was really awesome. Like, what happened with us? You know what I mean? Or like, oh man, I remember my grandma used to tell me, live your life as a dreamer. Like, don't ever stop. Just keep dreaming and just pretend that's real life. And so these stories and these sort of little vignettes that I was remembering became the letters. And it kind of kept me from being lonely while I was traveling, because I could sort of like take myself back and almost like rewrite the past in a way. Because I was writing these letters to sort of like say, hey, I never told you this, but like, I loved that magenta lipstick you had on that night. None of us want to be vulnerable or that honest. But when we look at the greats, that's why we love them. That's why we love John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Miles Davis, Jimi Hendrix, Marvin Gaye, Picasso, Matisse, Maris Cunningham, Walt Disney. These guys fought for like who they really were and the art that they created that was them. And sometimes you gotta like fall. If you know, I read like so many biographies and autobiographies, and the story that's consistent is everybody falls to a really low point when they sort of lose everything. They lose their woman, they lose their money, their son or daughter dies, or something tragic happens to them where they're just brought to their knees. And I feel like in those moments when you're brought to your knees and you have nothing and you almost don't know why you're here is when you start to create the best work. Because it's like, it's primal, it's like really who you are, it comes from your soul, and you're not doing it to please anybody, you're doing it so you don't kill yourself, because you don't feel like you want to be here anymore. And that is the music that I created, and even now I still, everything I create, I try to create it with that sense of urgency and purpose. Like I try to make things that always feel like they're coming from as deep down as possible.